What's up, everybody? Joe White here. Man, the Royal Rumble was crazy, and we're left with even more questions and answers at the end of it, which is the way it should be when you're booking pro wrestling. It should make you want to tune in the next show and find out what's going on. And I got to tell you guys, I'm kind of intrigued. It's pretty obvious where the direction they're going here. First, let me do some follow up on my um, review that I posted last night. I thought the pay per view as a whole, the pay per view, PLE as we now have to call it, as a whole, was just awesome. Um, I thought the women's rumble was really good, despite what people are saying. Um, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But no Becky Lynch. Um, and in the men's rumble, no Solo Sikoa, and neither of the Tongans were in it, which was like, huh? You'd think that they'd want to put Solo in there, but oh well. Um, Coming out of it, John Cena has already declared himself for the Elimination Chamber. Triple H has already confirmed that he is in that match. The winner of this match, I got a feeling, will go on to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Um, and it's obvious that Jey Uso is going to go up against Gunther and probably win the World Heavyweight Championship. I kind of feel bad for Gunther because Gunther has not had a very successful title reign. He hasn't defended it a whole lot since SummerSlam. He hasn't wrestled a whole lot since SummerSlam. And he's kind of been a paper champion. I hate to put it that way because Gunther's damn good at what he does. But um, I think that he's kind of gotten a bad rap. Doesn't mean he can't get the title again and have a more successful reign at it. He certainly can. But this one, his inaugural title reign, has just been meh. Very meh. Um, Moving on from the Rumble, let's talk a little bit about the Chamber, and then we'll go back to the Rumble actually, because I got a lot to say about a couple of things here, especially the Alexa Bliss thing and Joe Hendry. Um, so the Elimination Chamber. Before we get into the Dave Meltzer stuff, yes, it's Dave Meltzer stuff, but let's look at the list of names that I think could be in the Chamber. Obviously, you have John Cena already in the match. It's official. Triple H announced it. He announced it. And then here's another, um, list of names here. I'm adding to it as we speak. Um, Drew McIntyre could be in it. I think he's pretty much a lock to be in the match. CM Punk is obviously going to be in the match, I think. He's been spending a lot of time on SmackDown. And he even said, he even told Seth, hey, I got bigger fish to fry now. So I think you have Cena, Drew, Punk. Roman Reigns, I think, is in it. Or they could do a deal where CM Punk, the big favor is that CM Punk is going to take Roman Reigns' spot. If Roman is not in it, I think Seth Rollins is definitely going to be in it. Because Rollins is going to look at this and go, I was your shield. I helped you win this thing. I want you to go to Nick Aldis and have them put me in the Royal Rumble match. Pull some strings. I know I'm a Raw guy, but Punk's a Raw guy too, and he just cashed in a favor. So I want a favor from you, Cody. So we got Cena, Drew McIntyre, um, Punk, and then Seth Rollins. Now, if Roman is also in there, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then okay, so here it is. If Roman decides to be in it, if they decide to throw Roman in there with them, you have Cena, Drew, Punk, Roman, and Seth Rollins. Those are your 5 concrete guys. Then, okay, you could have either Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens in it. I don't think Kevin Owens is going to be in it. I don't think we're going to see Kevin Owens until WrestleMania. There's rumors going around that it's going to be Kevin versus Sammy at WrestleMania. And then the other guy that I'm thinking of that could take that sixth spot is Solo Sikoa. If Roman is not in it, you have Sammy and you can have a combination of either of the last three that I mentioned there. It's either out of Sammy, Owens, or Solo. There's a lot of places they could go with this. A lot of places. I think that they're going to go. Honestly, I think I'm going to nail it down now. Cena, Drew, Punk, Roman, Rollins, and then probably Solo Sikoa in there. Because if you're going to have Sammy versus Kevin at WrestleMania, you're going to have to get that feud started up again, and have it build up for a while. Another guy that could be factoring into all this, Randy Orton. Randy Orton could factor into all this too. So that sixth member, or the first four guys are locked. I think your first four guys are Cena, Drew, Punk, and Rollins. Those four are probably definitely going to be in the chamber. The fifth and sixth guy, again, could be Roman, could be Cena, Orton, Sammy, Owens, or Solo. Any of those guys, or even Jacob Fatu. God, there's so many guys that they could put in there. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think the six people to be in the chamber? Well, the other five people, because Cena's confirmed. And so who do y'all think is going to be in there? Leave that in the comments below. Moving on to the Alexa Bliss thing. You know, it came out about a week before the Rumble that Alexa Bliss was not going to be there. All creative for her had been pulled because she did not have a contract. She put out on Twitter that she, was going to be home with her baby if you need her, blah, blah, blah. And then, the dirt sheets reported, Mike Johnson reported last night, right before the Rumble went on the air, about an hour or two before it goes, the pre-show went on. Hey, Alexa Bliss is backstage. Kudos to Mike Johnson. Because, he goes, hey, yes, we were told the contract stalled. We were told this, but hey, she's backstage. They must have came to a deal. And they even said when she came out, stop reading the dirt sheets. Don't believe. The internet said she won't coming back. And Meltzer took this really hard. Meltzer took this so hard, guys. You can tell he does not like when they tell people don't read his shit. You can so tell that he did not like having the proverbial egg on his face. Take a listen to this. This is Dave Meltzer talking about the Alexa Bliss situation.
I'm gonna rewatch it here as you talk about Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. So I am told that the Alexa Bliss thing was a late negotiation. I don't believe it because it's pro wrestling. My belief is that they were pulling a swerve, but it's, the gist on Alexa Bliss was her contract, because of the freezing and time off and everything, it was not up, but it was about to be up. And so they didn't want to debut her and then have the contract up, because then she'd kind of have them under a barrel, or not necessarily under a barrel, but it's kind of awkward to start someone, put them on TV, and then if you don't come to terms and you don't have a new contract, they disappear. They just figured, let's get the new contract done. And I was told that the contract didn't get done. And then I'm told, well, the contract did get done. Okay. They had a t-shirt out for her, just the way it all came down. I'm suspicious of that story. But after, I still have heard the story from multiple people tonight, including during the match, like right after it happened. It's just like, I know what you're thinking, and blah, blah, blah. But it's actually, this is actually what the deal was put together late. I am, like I said, I'm very skeptical. When I look back at her tweets, kind of, it just feels too much like a WWE thing to fool. I mean, the fact is that to fool the other people, and again, fool other people. It was people in the office that they all fooled too. I mean, like and high up. So maybe just like they fooled Triple H and he didn't know. Which also I don't buy, because of the T-shirt. Once I see the T-shirt out immediately, it's kind of like somebody had to know something, and I believe, like I said, that's what I believe. It's the opposite of what I was told by multiple people, and I'm sure that there will be more stories coming out on that, in the next day or two. Whether it's like we fooled you, or they'll say it was a last minute thing. Whatever. And it's not necessarily true. I know, like with Punk, it was a late thing. It was not quite as late as they said, but it was a late thing, and this just reminded me a lot of the Punk thing.
So there you have it. They just described it, well, I'll let our good friend Kaz from Metal Gear describe Dave Meltzer's feelings towards all this.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
That's right, Dave. They played you like a damn fiddle. They played you. And I'm not saying that this couldn't be true. I'm not saying that they couldn't came together late. Because, the Punk stuff was very late. But for him to sit there and say, oh, they had a T-shirt out, and it's pro wrestling. That's Dave's excuse for every time he gets worked. It's pro wrestling. It's all the work. Everything's a work to Dave. Here's what I think happened. I think that they already had a contract signed, but they pulled it. I don't think any of the creative was pulled or anything else. I think they worked every last one of you. Or if they did pull the creative, they probably came to a damn agreement middle of the week and didn't tell anybody. They were like, "Oh, what a surprise! The dirt sheets thinks that she's not going to be there, so it plays right into their hands." They played you like a damn fiddle, Dave. Uncle Dave, they played you like a fiddle. Let's do the Trump voice again. Uncle Dave. We have to call him Uncle Dave. He's Sleepy Dave. And him and all the other dirt sheets, the fake news, boy, fake news. They played him like a damn fiddle. So Joe Hendry was in the Rumble, in the men's Rumble, and I'm so glad. They need to change the lyrics to that song. Say his name and he gets speared. I don't give a damn about Joe Hendry. Anyway, I don't give a damn about him. He's, well, let's let Meltzer. I'm going to link two clips here together, and let's let Dave Meltzer give his thoughts about the way Joe Hendry was treated in this Rumble. Take a listen to these two clips. I'm linking them together. Here you go.
This is in next. He starts, being the Miz and all. And then Joe Hendry is announced. Place goes nuts. They sing his song. He gets in the ring. He's doing all of his spots. He lays out one guy after another. Sheamus is in the corner. He's just standing in the corner watching this guy, and he's nodding his head. He likes it. But then finally, he ends up getting, Joe Hendry gets laid out by Fat 2, so Sheamus gets angry at Fat 2, asks him why he's being angry. They start to fight. Roman Reigns comes in next. Gets rid of Miz, gets rid of Sheamus, gets rid of Hendry, and they booed Roman for that. And
well, the deal, number one, it was like that. Number two, I mean, it's very early in the game, but the guy is the TNA World Champion. And just him being in the Rumble in its own way is kind of like, you're the World Champion, why would you be in the Rumble? But it was disrespectful but TNA is a secondary group, so you can, whatever. But it's like, if they didn't, this was very much like the deal with Triple H and, when he, destroyed, the ECW champion when and all that. I mean, it is a WWE playbook thing, it was inevitable it was going to be this way.
Well, I'll
Plus,
say this. He should have eliminated some people. There was no reason he couldn't eliminate the fucking Miz
well, I mean,
or whoever.
But I mean, the thing is, if he's in there for 15 minutes, it's cool. But I mean, he was
only in there for like 2 minutes.
He was in and out. I mean, it was like he got his pop, that they knew he was going to get, and then it's just like, okay, just get him out of there.
So I think they treated Joe Hendry. People are sitting there going, "Oh, it's the working relationship, the working relationship." I think Joe Hendry was penciled in to be in this damn Rumble from the moment he set foot in NXT about 3 or 4 months ago. Before this little working agreement even came about, they were planning on him being in there. This has been planned for months. And I said, when people started saying it then, and I said it all the way up until my predictions video, I think, even if not before, you bring him in, you let him go around for 2 minutes, and you dump his ass out. Why? Because WWE realizes without that song, he's CAW number 52. Okay? He's the generic template. He's one of the templates. Like, okay, if you go into the WWE 2K24, 25, create a wrestler, and you hit random, he's one of the guys that can pop out. He's random. He's, whenever they have the question mark for the mystery guy, that's Joe Hendry. He's random. Random CAW number 52. He's nothing without the song. His ring gear is generic. His look is generic. His moves are generic. Without that song, he's nothing. When will people realize that? I mean, if they're smart, they keep this title run very short. He's a niche, whatever you want to call it, athlete or talent. Well, you notice once his song stops, what happens? Crickets. Crickets. They're just waiting to see if he wins. They hope he wins, only for the sheer fact that they can hear the song again. That's it. And Dave is like, well, he's our champion. Dave, Uncle Dave. Going back into the Trump voice. Uncle Dave. Delirious, sleepy Uncle Dave. You have to realize, Dave, they've had the TNA Women's Champion in the Rumble the past 2 years. They're continuing that tradition. Next year, we'll probably, even though they got this big working agreement with NXT, you'll probably see either the Women's Champion or the World Champion in the Rumble again next year. That's just how they've been doing it. So don't give me the working agreement and he deserves to be treated better and all that. No, he doesn't. Oh, he should have eliminated somebody. He got eliminated by this. Who cares? Goodbye. He would have been treated the same whether there's a working agreement or not. He's generic. There's nothing really, he doesn't have it. Take away the song. He does not have it. Anyway. That's going to wrap it up for me. I think that Dave is just delusional. He doesn't get it. He's lost the plot. It's getting to be tiresome at this point with you, Dave. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me. No, I'm not going to talk about the Vince McMahon, Janelle Grant stuff. Somebody actually just asked me about that on Twitter. They just DM'd me and goes, "Are you going to talk about this?" No. Why? Big deal. They put a few new... I'm sorry, I don't need to rehash this shit. He's gone from the company. WWE's going to pay her a bunch of money to hush up. They're going to settle because they want their name out of this as soon as possible. They want this to be over with so they can bring Brock Lesnar back. Bottom line. Okay? That's all there is to it. And this whole thing of going woke and getting canceled, all that's stopping in this country, thank God. So, anyway, folks, that's my thoughts on that. I don't want to cover it anymore. If you want more on this, go to woke wrestling or post wrestling as they call themselves. I call them woke wrestling. So, that freaking goblin looking what's his face who runs that damn thing can talk your head off and go woke all he wants to. I'm not going to do it anymore. Not going to talk about it because it does not affect the wrestling business. It really doesn't at this point. Anyway, folks, we'll see you down the road.
I'm not home right now. Please leave a message after the beep. Beep.